Hey, it's TrainTsarFun. Welcome to my basement. I've commandeered BrickTsar's space here, so we're going to be doing this Ask Me Anything. You have overwhelmed me, and I really appreciate that. We got a ton of questions. We're going to try to answer as many of them as we can. We're going to do them in the order that they were asked. So this is my thank you to you, the viewers, for helping me get to 100,000 subscribers. I never thought I would be able to get to this, and when I say that, I really mean that, because it's been a long trip to this point, but I've enjoyed it, and I enjoyed reading your comments, and I'm glad you've asked me so many questions. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right to it. We'll get to the first question. And the first question comes from NWR Thomas, who asks, do you like Hornby or Bachman better? That's a really tough one to answer, but I will say that I like Bachman better because I like the moving eyes. I like that some of them seem a little more realistic, but I do like some of the selections that Hornby has. And another reason I like the Bachman better is it's readily available here in the U.S., and they're still making Thomas and Friends. The next question is from Atsukandami the Hedgehog, and I'm sorry if I butcher people's names. Do Thomas versus Rosie race? That's not a question. That's not a question. Oh, here's a question from Martin Sersba. Is the school bus a mocar? It's technically not really a school bus. It is a work vehicle for the Union Pacific Railroad, so that may be what you mean. I'm actually, surprisingly, or not surprisingly to some of you, I don't know a lot of the railroad jargon, so to speak, but yeah, it's not a real school bus. It's a work vehicle. Ethan Clark asks, what is your favorite steam train in America you remember from your childhood? Well, there's two of them. One of them we actually did a video on. It was a Southern Crescent steam locomotive, and I actually don't remember which one it was. Was it the 1325? I got a video somewhere. But the one that I remember the most is the American Freedom Train. But the thing that I don't remember is if the one I saw was the actual Southern Pacific 4449. I don't know. It was big. I just remember like the wheels being so big. So that's the most memorable, the American Freedom Train. Oh, here's Atsuki the Hedgehog again. If you had to pick a railway in the UK, which would it be? I don't know any railways in the UK. Whichever one runs the Intercity 125, that would be the one. Green Engine Production says, can you have the Hornby, Thomas, Oliver, and Stepney do a triple header? That's a good choice for a video, so we should do that in an upcoming video. Yo Mom's Gamer says, does the Rocket run on his own? Yes, he does. It is actually, even though it's so tiny, it's motorized. PRR fan. PRR, I know what that stands for. He says, do you like the Pennsylvania Railroad? I do, and I like the GG1. To me, that's one of the ones that stands out. But I've also seen some model trains that people have made based on the Pennsylvania Railroad. And I think, isn't that where the Horseshoe Curve is? The former Pennsylvania Railroad, the Horseshoe Curve. I may be wrong. Correct me, PRR fan. You would know. Mason Day says, will you ever sell extremely rare Thomas items you have in the far future? I like how you word that, Mason, because it is definitely in the far future. I don't have plans of selling anything at this time, but circumstances change, so never say never. But no, at this time I don't have plans. Crazy Mario Film 64 says, what variations of Billy do you have? I like Billy because he looks like a hillbilly. Maybe that's why he's called Billy. I know of two. One of them is, I think it's a Tomy version. And the other is that my first engine type Golden Bear type looking, and it actually talks. So I love that one. I know I got those two, and I may have a wooden one, but I don't remember. Some of you may actually know, may have seen it in a previous video. Savage Big E. Oh, Savage says, what's your favorite football teams? And you got a New England Patriot logo on your thing. Oh, yeah. That was one of the most heartbreaking things, was my Atlanta Falcons losing to your New England Patriots and giving up the biggest lead ever in the history of the Super Bowl. But that's my team, the Falcons. I also do follow college teams, the Georgia Bulldogs, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. I'm one of those people that I don't necessarily pick one over the other because I'm not as invested in it as other people. But those are the only 3 football teams I really follow. Aiko says, is there a locomotive you would really want to ride on? Yeah. I'd like to be in the cab of a Union Pacific big boy. I think that would be pretty cool. I think this is in Hindi. I don't know, but I don't know your name, but it says, can you bring me a toy train? No, I can't do that. Sorry. Adrian111 Chaldez says, do you have the Lionel Polar Express? If you don't, when are you going to get it? I don't have it, and I will not be getting it. Sorry about that. New Bright 262, do you have any New Bright trains? I don't think so. Maybe I need to look that up. Thank you. All right, Train Dude 456 asked a couple of questions. Actually, yeah, here we go. Have you ever thought of having a custom for yourself? Well, I actually do have some customs. They were the ones by Fisher Price. My father-in-law really likes making custom train locomotives, painting them with his own paint scheme and on railroad. I think that would be cool. And I actually do have some of his work here. It says, how come the stars are so far apart? It's because of gravity. Actually, the universe is a lot more organized and complicated than most people really want to think about. There is extreme order in the universe, and the fascinating thing about the billions and billions of stars in our galaxy and the billions of galaxies that are out there is if you could physically take a galaxy and another galaxy and wave them like this, you can't really do that because it would take infinity to do that. But it's like the stars would not even touch because they're so far apart. So it's just the massiveness of the universe is something hard for humans to comprehend. All right, next question. You asked that question again. I didn't get it all in the screen, but it says, why? Jelena Mihaljovic says, why have you not got every gauge you have and make a circuit with all gauges, Trackmaster 2 and Classic HO and OO Scale Tommy, Trackmaster 3, Superstation, Wooden Track? Well, wait, a layout with all those gauges for each gauge the train going to be on the track is Thomas. It's a lot in there, but I actually do have that plan. That's why we bought some of the adapter tracks. I do want to make something with going on that scale, all the way from early Tommy up to current Wooden and Trackmaster. But you also mentioned the other ones. So the others don't actually fit on the same track, but I have actually done a lot of videos with as many of them running with the tracks parallel to each other as I can. I do like doing that, so that's a good suggestion. Lucas Nolan says, why no one never seemed to build any model kits or build buildings along with your trains, or do you just show them on camera? Yeah, I don't. I do have some kits that I want to build, and I have thought of doing that on camera. It's just I don't have a lot of free time to film videos and to build things. So most of what you see on camera is what I'm doing. So as I get more time, I would like to build some kits. I don't know if that's what people want to see. Let me know in the comments below. Do you want to see me building kits? I have some train car kits that you actually got to assemble it, things like that. And there are also some building kits I've built in the past, but not since I've been doing this channel. All right, let's see if we got another question. Here's one from Grand Trunk Western Productions. In your Hornby versus Bachmann video, you had a Hornby Dart, but not a Den. So did Hornby only make Dart? I think that is right. And it does seem kind of weird that they'd make Dart and not Den. I have not seen it. So if anybody has seen a Den, let me know. But I search eBay. That's really the only source I have of searching. I guess I could look if somebody's got a wiki page for Hornby trains. Maybe there's something there of all the ones they made. Let me know if anybody knows the details I can find out, because I do want to have all the different characters that Hornby made. Kevin McNall says, how many HO scale train cars do you have in your collection? And great job on 100K. Well, thank you for that. I actually have no idea. It's in the hundreds. We did the video showing all my Thomas and Friends, and between the locomotives And the trains, we probably got 130 or more. But as far as cars, freight cars, HO scale train cars, there's several hundred. I don't know what the number is. I've never had them all out at once, and it's really not possible for me to get them all out at once. Trainman777 says, are you ever going to sell some of the stuff in your model train collection? Now, that's different than my rare stuff. So, yes, it's possible. I do have some things that I've had for years that I'm not attached to, and I have thought of selling them because I just don't have the space to use them. But it's possible. FNAF Springlock says, how long have you been collecting model railways? Since I was a kid. I did post a video with a plastic toy train that my father bought for me when I was less than a year old. No, actually, that one was probably when I was a couple of years old. I don't remember. But I've always liked trains, and I remember we had Lionel trains when I was like 6. I got my first HO scale train. So as long as I can remember. It says, what's your favorite real-life locomotive? That's a tough one. It's a tough one. I probably would lean towards the big boy, but I also like the Norfolk and Western Challenger. I like the big locomotives for some reason. It says, what's your favorite Thomas and Friends character? That's always a tough question, but I have to lean towards Percy with that. All right, Trace Wilson says, my question for you is where's a good place to get Trackmaster train sets? Because I get a lot recently for a young family member, but I can't find any trucks or anything like that. That's a good question because nobody seems to be selling these. Walmart only has sets. Walmart and Target pretty much have the same things. They just don't. Mattel is not making a lot of products, so I would just look at getting used things on eBay, or look at the Tomy stuff that's sold on Amazon or eBay as well. The Thomas Collector says, what does your channel name mean? I've always wanted to know what Tsar means. It's just the Tsar was the rulers in Imperial Russia until they were executed by the Bolsheviks and the Soviets took over. I just like the way that name is spelled, and the whole channel name, it's just a pun. It's just a play on words. It's TrainTsarFun, and if you say it, sounds like trains are fun, so that's why I do it. It doesn't really mean anything. Trainmaster26. What's your favorite Thomas character? Percy. What's your favorite railroad? Southern Railway. What got you into trains and Thomas? I can't remember not liking trains, and I got interested in Thomas when I saw the live action show with Ringo Starr narrating. I was like, those are real trains. That is so neat that they're telling stories with real trains. It's not just a cartoon. Now it's back to being a cartoon. I don't like that. So, what is your favorite find on eBay, Amazon, garage sale, etc.? My favorite find is a Lego find where I got a lot of Lego sets on eBay. I call it the Grady Tomlinson collection, but maybe thinking of train finds. I just like it. I've gotten a lot of gifts over the years from friends and family when they find stuff at yard sales. My sister, she is always finding things for me. So I don't really have a specific one that I can point to, but I love getting things that are older, vintage. So she's found some train sets. They're probably from the 80s. They don't hardly work, and I don't even think I've shown most of that here on this channel. But it's always fun going and finding stuff at antique sales, eBay, and so I don't find as much on Amazon though. What is your favorite destination? Knapford Station, Tidmouth Sheds, etc. Ooh, so that's a Thomas and Friends question. I just always like that scene on Thomas and Friends. In the introduction when Thomas is going past the windmill. That's why it's one of the first structures I bought was the windmill. I really like train says, do you prefer trains or Lego? I like Lego trains. Flying Scott's Film. How old are you? Half a century. What's your name? Jabbo. What's your favorite Thomas character? Percy. Do you like Star Wars or Indiana Jones? I like both of those. I like Star Wars more. If so, what's your favorite character from either franchise? Yoda is my favorite. I don't remember. Sometimes I forget how to speak as Yoda. Do you think you will ever get a white-faced troublesome truck? It's possible. I don't know. I haven't been searching for it, though. Empire Today Fanatic. What was the first Bachmann Hornby train you've collected or bought? The very first one is the Bachmann train set that has Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle. That was the very first one we ever got. As far as the second one, I did buy another set. I think it was also Thomas with a freight train. And then we got Emily with her coaches. That was another set that we got. Those were, I think, some of my most early purchases. Oh, Ian Cameron asks, when will you get the HO scale Union Pacific 4014? And what's your favorite NHL teams? Mine is Carolina and Buffalo. All right, so the 4014, that's the big boy, right? I don't know. I want to get it, but it's like $400 or $500 to get one. But I do want to get one in HO. If I was to get one, I would just get one of those in HO scale, and I'd like to get one that has sound. But I can't afford it right now. What's your favorite NHL teams? I don't have any. We've had 2 NHL franchises here in Atlanta, and they've both gone away. I think one of them became the Winnipeg Jets, and I don't know the others. But I don't follow hockey anymore because of that. Hayden the Toyologist says, if you enjoy model trains, then can you please check out my Bethlehem Railway Nativity train tour video? No, I can't. I'm sorry. There were no trains. I'm sorry. But that's nice of you, though. Hey, Oliver Grant says, have you ever thought about doing Transformers on your channel? Yes. My original channel, J. Olson37, which is actually right now called BrickTsar Toys, about to be changed to Jabbo's Toys. It's actually got Transformers on it. Have to look it up. Isaiah Hawkins says, which gauges, scale, and toy trains do you prefer to collect? It's HO scale. If you to tie me down, I don't know why you would tie me down, but if you could only give me one that I would collect, it would be HO scale. And what's your favorite or least favorite gauge? My least favorite is S scale. I don't understand S. I see it at the shows, and it's just like their layouts are always the worst. Sorry, S scalers. But yeah, my favorite is HO. What got you into the toy train hobby? I just grew up like that. And what are your thoughts on the big boy returning to Steam? I watched a lot of videos that people had filming that when it was running. It's just, I remember seeing pictures of it in the magazines and just thinking, oh, how awesome it would be able to see it. And now for people to be able to see it, it's amazing. I wish I could get out there and see it one day. Flying Scotsman 4472, what video editor do you use? I use iMovie on my phone. I actually edit most all of my videos on my phone. Even if I record them on another device, I put it on my phone and edit it with iMovie. It's very easy, and I don't care about fancy edits. Thoughts on Bachmann New Red Rosie? I'm looking forward to it. It's number 37. That's my favorite number. Favorite Bachmann and Hornby Thomas engine? My favorite Bachmann is Percy, but my favorite Hornby is Murdoch. I love that Murdoch. 019217 Gaming. How much money do you think your entire collection of Bachmann Hornby trains is worth? It's a lot, because some of those locomotives we paid, like, I don't want to say like $400 for some of them. It's several $1,000s. I don't have a number though. Trainboy 90 Production says, here's some questions. What video? Oh wait, I just asked that one. It's the same question. I thought I was reading the same one over. So we just answered that one. It says, what do you think of the new Alpha X Shinkansen? I don't know how to say it, but that's a Japanese train, and they look like bullet trains, so they look pretty cool. What's your favorite Play-Rail non-Thomas model? It is the TGV. That's the orange TGV. What's your favorite steam locomotives around the world? I like the Big Boy. I like the Norfolk and Western 611. And there was the Flying Scotsman is one. Oh, Elliot Saucedo says, choose Union Pacific or AT&SF. Be specific. Choose Union Pacific. No, I tell you what, actually, I'll go with the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe if I had to choose. That's why you can't choose between those two. Toasty Studios, favorite model of Ben, Take and Play, Wooden, Railway, Trackmaster, etc. Probably my HO scale Bachmann Ben. Toy Liam Craft Gamer says, can the rocket pull trucks? It's got the couplers. We could try it. It will probably struggle. So that's another video idea. Toasty Studios, thoughts on Boko as a Thomas character? Not in very many episodes, I guess, because they don't really show that much in different collections. Toasty Studios, what Percy do you use the most? Probably the HO scale Percy, although I do need to get out the take and play ones that have the talking. I love the talking locomotives. I just put them up a while back and I haven't been using those nearly enough. Alan Beltran says, I have a question. Can you get the HO scale model of the Union Pacific number 844? I don't know. There are so many good locomotives, it's hard to get all of them. I try to stick to the railroads and the particular locomotives. So I don't have any plans on getting that one. What's your fastest HO locomotive? In the past, it's been Henry, but he does seem to be slowing down a little bit in recent times. But the fastest locomotive in general is that Tyco bullet train. That thing is super fast. It actually can go upside down and stuff. I did a video somewhere on the channel. You can find it. No. When did you find liking trains? I started when I was a kid. Kermit, Mexico Productions, are you going to get anything new for the railway? Yes, we're always looking for the next new thing to get. My Mr. McMuffin says, would you rather have the Polar Express or the Hogwarts Express? You will never see those on my channel. Neither one of them. I'm sorry. Just not something I'm into. Sam Studios, what Bachmann train do you want Bachmann to make? That's a very good question. Probably the Flying Scotsman with both tenders. William Nichols, what is your favorite heritage unit? It is easily the Savannah and Atlanta, which I've been able to see at Horseshoe Bend, as well as going through town here in Georgia. But my second favorite would be the Kansas City Southern. RZL Daydreamer 915 says, do, pray tell, ever have fans visit your place? No. I've had friends visit, and that's all that will ever visit is people I know. And if you show up, you will get the police called on you. James Matson says, are you going to get Red Rosie from Bachmann? I've had it on order for a while, so as soon as it's released by Bachmann, it will be shipped. So we're just waiting for it to get the official release. BGM Reviews, what made you decide to start all of your YouTube channels? That's a question that I've answered on some of the other channels. I just got approached by Google back in 2010, 2011, somewhere in there, about a video that I posted of my son and I playing with the GeoTracks. I was not checking YouTube. I did not know, but it was semi-viral. It had over 200,000 views back then, which is extremely a lot of views, and they were wanting to monetize it. But I thought it was a scam, so I didn't do it. And then when I realized you can make video, I never knew that you could make money from the videos. So then I was like, oh, maybe I should be making videos. So I just started doing different things that I had already, and I found that trains were the most popular thing that I did. So that's how I made this channel. Just wanted to focus on trains. Ty's Model Train says, hey, trains are fun. I'm a huge fan of your videos, and my question is, do you plan to extend your HO scale layout anytime soon? And do you have any plans to get HO scale Polar Express? Not getting Polar Express. I do want to expand my layout. Don't know if I'm going to be able to do it anytime soon. But there are plans to do that. Will there be any more races of Bachmann or Hornby, says Ryan Tuff. Yes. Do you have any Lego Marvel Avenger sets? Way too many. We do have quite a large collection of Lego, and I do have a lot of Marvel stuff. Alright. The best trains are real. Have you been on any tourist railroads? I want to start doing more of that. I have not been on anything recently. I want to do the Georgia Northeastern excursion. There's other ones here in Georgia, but no, I haven't. It's really sad that I've not done that. I've not really done any. We did do the Thomas and Friends thing, but that was really short. Noah Dupai says, out of all the Thomas and Friends Toy Train Trackmaster Minis Take Along, which is your favorite? Ooh, that's tough. That is tough. If I was going to go with non-HO scale, I would have to go with Wooden Railway. But Tomy. We'll go with Tomy. It'd probably be Tomy trains. Uh, Duke the Narrow Gauge, do you have Hornby Toad? No, I do not. I do look for that on eBay, though. Archie Powell, trains or cars? Ooh, trains. Archie Powell, what is your favorite train for Thomas? Percy. No, normal person, why is this on my recommended page? Because you have a Thomas and Friends character. It looks like Percy as your avatar. Look at what the topic of my stuff is. It's not that hard to figure out. Andrew Rose Cole, do you know Thomas is an E2 tank engine? I do now. Star William, can you show all of your Tommy cargo and do what you did with the Hornby trains? Okay. The problem with that, I want to do that, is that you'd have to rig something up because there's no front couplers on the engines, and one engine cannot pull all of them. It might be able to pull maybe 20 cars, but I do want to make a really long train, and plus they're so light, when they go around the curves, they'll derail. So that's another problem with that. But I have thought of your idea there. New Storyteller has some questions. Do you like Bob the Builder? And have you ever done a video on some of the classics? I used to like Bob the Builder because I thought it was funny that they seemed to break more stuff than fix it. I don't like the new version of Bob the Builder. I like the classic version. It says, second question, have you had many fall downs apart from hitting the camera? I've fell a bunch of times. I've had all kinds of accidents. Which color of Rosie do you like? Pink or red or both? I like both. Yeah, both. I like the numbering and the lettering on the red one, though. Do you know I'm sending the last delivery of letters? No. Do you know that I can sing Bob the Builder? No. Which song do you like the best? Postman Pat, Roadrunner song, or the Wombling song? Probably Postman Pat. Oh, all those other ones I don't like. What are your thoughts on Model T cars? I don't collect those. Which do you prefer, Roadrunner, of how the Roadrunner sounds? Beep beep or words provided? Oh no words. Please, no words. Do you like Cars 4? I do. I like. Actually, I haven't seen Cars 4. I don't know. I have to go watch it. Jake Nelson, what do you do when you're not working or playing with trains and building block type toys? I sleep. Dandies 1997. Which country trains is your favorite? Mine is the UK because I live in the UK. So much like you, I like railroads that are in the southern part of the United States. So I guess the US, but there are some amazing trains in Europe and other places. All right. That wasn't a question. I'm looking at the questions. Billy the Smudger, just 3 questions I have. How old are you? Half a century. Will you make your own custom trains like everybody else? No. 3. How do you get the capsule play rails and wind-ups? I get them on eBay. All right. Ender Punk 2K20YT says, can you do a Botman versus Hornby plus bus drag race? Yes, we were planning on doing more races. Sean the J50 tank engine says, what happened to the Queen Elizabeth 040? It looks like Thomas. Actually, when I got all the Hornby trains out, she was the last thing left in the box. It's the only non-Thomas and Friends Hornby locomotive that I have. And that was a gift from Girl Up North in the UK. Brick TV. Out of the 4 Beatles except Ringo, who would you have in Thomas the Tank Engine? It'd have to be Paul McCartney. I don't think John Lennon would do it. And, well, obviously John Lennon and George Harrison can't do it because they're dead. But probably Paul. Faz Pronter, do you have Boco models? Ertl, Wooden, Tommy Trackmaster, just let me know. Yes, we have a few different ones. Ertl is the one that stands out, but we also have Wooden, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Ryan Fries, can you do more Goodwill hauls or flea marketing? That would be awesome. I go into Goodwill sometimes 3 and 4 times a day. 4 different stores, up to four maybe a day. When I'm out and about, and I only show you stuff when I find it. So it's very hard to find stuff, but I will. and I don't have time to flea market. All right, Jody Smith, if there's a train you always wanted that came for sale that you don't see come for sale when it does, and it's very expensive, no matter what, would you risk the expensive price? Again, the final price. I mean, it's like when I wanted Murdoch. I looked and looked, and there would be ones for sale, but the price would be too high, and I finally got one that was at my price. So I am patient that way. I will wait. Will Murdoch be featured in later videos, says Frederick S. Yes, he will. Sorry I haven't used him much. I kind of leave him in his packaging a lot because I don't want to mess him. He was in the recent video just showing all the collection. Indradrat Rizak Prayogo says, who made the best toy train? Tommy, Bachman, Hornby, Lionel. Please answer. I will say Bachman. Blake Breeding, what's your favorite Marvel character? Mine's Spider-Man. Mine is too. Lucas says, can you show your face, please? How many trains you have? I don't know how many trains I have, and I'll never show my face on camera. Catherine Hawes, why do you have a school bus? Because school buses are fun. Han Gaming says, how do you do Gordon versus Spencer? Have you do Gordon versus Spencer race? We can. I don't know if I have, but that's a good choice. We need to do more fan choices on races, don't we? Eric Roxa says, when you get the Thomas in the get. Okay. From Tommy. Sorry. Okay. Nikolai Malik says, can you see how many trucks your Trackmaster Stepney can pull on the land? Now that I can do. We can see how many they can pull. Don't know how many it will be, but that's a good request. Sandra Shearing says, how many models do you own? We did do a video showcasing all of the Thomas models that I had at one time, but that was a long time ago. So I'm sure just with the Thomas and Friends, it's over 2,000, and that doesn't count all the other HO scale stuff I have. It's really sad. Andrew Proof says, what is your best running OO scale model? Probably Murdoch. He runs really smooth, and it's because he's not tender driven. I hate those tender driven locomotives. Brandybot asked a lot. We're going to have to do lightning round. Would you like to make a gaming channel called TrainTsarFun? No. Would you rather Tommy or Trackmaster? Tommy. Do you like white milk or chocolate milk? White milk. Although chocolate milk with Hershey syrup is good. Would you like to see my collection of Tommy trains? Perhaps. Who do you think is a good character, Thomas or Percy? I like Percy better. Watermelon or pineapple? I just literally ate some watermelon before I did this video, but I like pineapple better. You are an amazing YouTube channel. That's not a question. James or Gordon? Gordon. Don't tell James. Freddie Allen says, do you know Teletubbies? Yes, and that was a disturbing television show. All right. Hey, Jags Martin. All right. Aiden's Railway says, what is your favorite play rail engine? Probably Stepney. Is that play rail or is that Trackmaster? I don't know. That's a good question. Maybe I need to get all of them out and try to figure out which one's my favorite. What's your least favorite Trackmaster 2 engine? I actually don't know which ones are Trackmaster 2. Hero. We'll say that. All right. K Super says, how many trains do you have and what is your favorite train and how many Jurassic... Oh, so we'll do the third one because we've already answered the first two. It says, will you do any Jurassic Park World stuff? Yes. I do need to do the Jurassic Park and Jurassic World stuff. We got hundreds of dinosaurs that we could be putting and have trains go through them. So that's a good suggestion. Thomas and Percy fan 199 says, what if Thomas never made it until this year? Oh, that would be sad. And Amy Schwaderder says, can you race the school bus? And I'll have to race them with maybe somebody that's slow, like Toby. Andrew Burton, if you were to build a Lego city and you would only use Lego trains in it, would you make traditional scale trains a part of it? I don't know. If I had if I had Lego trains, I wouldn't use both. I think that's what you're asking. This is Tugs asks, where does he get those wonderful toys? eBay, Amazon, TrainWorld. Goldie, no last name given, says, out of all your Bachman and Hornby, which is your favorite, least favorite? My least favorite is the Thomas by Hornby. That's my least favorite. We've already covered the favorites, Percy and Murdoch. Enzo, Pokefan. Okay, that's just an idea. I'm looking for questions. Sorry, Enzo. Roger Rubenstein. Will you get the Tommy Splatter and Dodge with double hook carriage? I've been looking at some of the Dodge and Splatter sets, and they're so expensive. Can you show us your entire Tommy Trackmaster collection? We do need to do an update. We have done that a few times, and I've gotten more since the last update. Will you make a wooden railway layout? I feel like I should be doing that. I haven't done that. We should do that. And what's the oldest item in your Thomas model railroad train you own? I don't know what the oldest is. The model trains, it's probably the Thomas that we bought in the early 2000s. I don't think I got anything that was made before the early 2000s. And how big of a Tommy train can you make? That's a good one. You know, we've got a lot of those, so that's definitely in upcoming videos. How many carriages can a Tommy or Trackmaster locomotive pull? Very good one. LOL Foxies, who do you think would win a race, Rocket or Toby? Yeah, I was just talking about that, how the Rocket is slow and Toby is slow. So those were we got it. That's another suggestion we got to do. And else is actually it was the school bus that's slow. The school bus is actually faster than the Rocket, by the way. Could you race the school bus with the Sound Thomas? Now that's a good call because they may be close in speed. And it says, do you think the Lego Hogwarts Express could fit on the G-scale track? No, it cannot. No, I have covered that. The Lego trains don't fit on the G-scale. And Daniel Quarter says, can you run the school bus more often because he likes it running? It's a school bus. It's a Hornby. All right, that's not a question. That's not a question. Sam Luna says, how many Trackmaster trains do you have, including duplicates? I actually do not know the answer, and I probably never will know the answer. It's several hundred. What is your favorite type of cheese, says Nye Comics. It is pepperjack cheese. Mr. Scott, beam me up, Mr. Scott. He says, why did your Fitbit wristband go from black to blue? Because I broke the first one. So this Fitbit came with two bands. I used the black one first because it goes with more things, and I play basketball and stuff, so it broke. Mad Sniper Gaming says, when are you announcing the winner of the Thomas, and why don't you use the 2018 Lionel Thomas? Sadly, mine broke. I guess I could get it out. It was over there. I moved it over there. It's the Bluetooth control, but I do need to get that one out more. And what was the other question? Well, there is no giveaway going on. There's all the giveaways we've done. All the winners have been announced. And this, two reasons I'm not doing giveaways anymore. One is because YouTube punished me the last time I did a giveaway. And two, I get questions asking who won months after the giveaway is over and the winner's already been announced. So I don't do giveaways anymore. Sorry about that. And last question. Bendy the Demon and works in Yowie Draw Studios. What train do you think is the biggest in your collection? The biggest is Emily. G-scale. That's the biggest I got. Anyway, thanks everybody for the questions. Thanks for helping me get to 100K subscribers. If I didn't answer your question, don't give up. We'll do another one of these. I did answer all the questions that were currently available when I filmed this video. So we look forward to doing more train videos, because trains are fun on TrainTsarFun, and I loved some of the ideas, and we'll look to include some of those ideas that y'all had in these comments. So anyway, thank you so much. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.